Hi, welcome to State of the Arts, Montgomery College's Arts and Artists Showcase. I'm James McClain, a sophomore television major here at MC. This year's theme in the arts at Montgomery College is Rhythm and Blue, with many arts events reflecting that theme. First up on our show is a Rhythm and Blue art exhibition displaying works from the Communication Arts Technologies faculty.
The Rhythm Blue theme is a thematic approach that the arts used for this particular year. And everything that came about, whether they've been exhibitions in the art gallery and our gallery, have all tried to conform to that theme. Martha Vaughn was a principal player in the Rhythm and Blue theme. She's done all of the design work for the theme, has created the posters, been on committees representing the theme, and so forth. The faculty members that participated in this show, for the most part, depending on the type of work they did, tried to adhere to that theme. You'll see when we look at the rest of the artwork that you'll see a little bit of that Rhythm and Blue theme.
When the exhibit theme was first announced, I was a little worried about it. I started looking through the files to see if I had any earlier works that would conform, and no good, no good, no good. We decided to create something brand new. Blue Chris A and B, and that's my wife Chris, and I shot it. We created it together for this exhibit. I took this picture with a Hasselblad medium format film camera that has a digital adapting back. It's my camera and the school's digital back. And ran it directly into a Macintosh computer so we could see what we were shooting as we went. And telephoto lens was used, 150 millimeter, small apertures for sharpness, electronic flash in a large softbox for lighting.
I wanted to try and create something that conveyed at a certain basic, almost organic level, the sense of rhythm and blue. This particular image, very loosely, is called Pink Door, but it conveyed a sense of mood and ambiance, and one of the things that concerns me is the creation of photographs that have an equivalent musical state. And so I try to think in the context of some photographs as being jazz or being blues or being classical, and this one fit in that jazz blues genre. In the context of this exhibition, the spirit of the moment when I made that picture, which for me was a very solitary moment. I was photographing in Washington, D.C., very much alone in an area that has since been revitalized. And I really wanted that sense of solitude, that sense of whimsy. And so there's a whole ambiance that I wanted to convey in that photograph.
I was the bad person, that I didn't adhere to the theme because the work that I traditionally do, or have been doing recently, is photo restorations. These are actual photo restorations from original glass plates that are around 100 years old. And most of them were severely damaged. One, actually, the glass plate was cracked in half, and we had to stitch everything together and then do all of the corrections. One of them was actually had 23 masks involved with different image corrections to get the value range adjusted the way it should. It is tremendously time consuming. You're looking at about 50 to 100 hours of work per restoration.
I originally started out as an artist, went to art school at Boston University, learned to paint and draw.
I started as a writer a number of years ago. My undergraduate degree is in journalism.
I started out as a fine arts major in undergraduate school, evolved to graphic design, and then a minor in photography.
While in college, I got interested in photography, and they didn't have a department I wanted to join at the time, so I became a photographer on my own.
I worked as a photojournalist for a number of years, and for a variety of reasons found that not to be a satisfying way for me to express myself. My graduate degree, my master's degree is in photography.
I proceeded to do more intensive study in photography and ended up actually being a professional photographer for a while.
I'm largely self-trained, except I learned a lot working for other photographers. I basically switched careers at the end of college.
Started teaching at MC and actually still kept involved with that particular community. I was still doing photography, I was still doing graphic design.
Any of the work that I do now has its roots either in a journalistic approach, the documentary style, the documentary traditions.
The Communication Arts Technologies Department is what we like to call the best kept secret at Montgomery College. We have wonderful faculty, wonderful facilities, and great students. And many of our students are working professionals now who have come back for retraining. We also have degree programs, we have certificates, and most of our faculty are ex-professionals.
We have a very broad-based program. We have a very eclectic group of adjunct professors. We really try to vary ages, ethnicities. I mean, we recognize we have an international student community, and we recognize that it's important for our students to see people that look like them in the classroom.
Teachers here have professional backgrounds of one kind or another, and they bring a lot of what they have learned into the classroom, and a lot of them have learned things that you won't find in a textbook about a given course. And I think in my case, I bring a lot of studio and location photography experience into the course, and I teach that. I basically teach what I used to do.
I often, have felt that that is the way all faculty should do, especially in fields that are vocational. They should keep their hands in it at some professional level so that they can translate that to their teaching, stay current, just not solely academic personnel.
In the Communication Arts Technologies Department, students will get an experience in learning that is much broader than any single discipline, because we recognize that what we're trying to do is to produce very broad-based citizens.
Montgomery College, the Communications Arts Technologies Department, we consider it a largely but not exclusively professionally oriented department. That means that a lot of the people who passed Photo 1, when they go into Photo 2, if they stick that through and stick through the end of the program, they will wind up in their career somewhere. They'll either be a photographer as a staffer or self-employed, or a wedding shooter, or they'll work in a newspaper as a photo editor, something. They will be doing something in the field.
We hope that our students can be successful from a commercial point of view. Many of our students transfer and go on to four-year institutions. But John and I intellectually set about very consciously to create a program that would embrace people who wanted to be fine art photographers, people who wanted to be commercial photographers. From a practical point of view, we realize that our students have got to earn a living.
That doesn't mean that we exclude discussions about art and purpose and content and competition and some symbolism and all the rest. We try and get as much of that into the courses as we can, but we want to make certain that the people are technically prepared as well as possible, given that they're only here 2 years. A lot of the people go on to photo departments in other colleges, of course, but some start careers right out of here.
I would advise anyone who is interested in photography, graphic design, computer graphics, television, radio, to seek us out, to find that little niche that you may be interested in.